Hello, hello, hello. I think we are live right now. So let me just select a game which is right now playing. So in today's live stream, we are going to push my rating towards 1600. So my current rating is something like 1576. Oh, I think it is something like 1476. So I will try to push it to 1600 and see how many game it takes me to do it. Okay. Okay, so let me just select a 10-minute rapid game in the pool. Okay, so game has been started and I am playing. Let me start the game with pawn to e4. Hello Subhanul Hakim, how are you doing? Okay, so Sicilian defense has been placed, so I will just develop my knight for now. And let's play open Sicilian here. I will recapture with the knight. Let me just save this pawn. Okay, so my opponent is playing another variation of Sicilian defense, which is quite a theoretical opening. That's not a problem for me. Let me just play bishop g5 move here, which is also is a good move in this position. And here this move is not so likely to be good because this is just weakening this square. So in this position the main move is to play pawn to e6, but my opponent has gone for pawn to e5 move. Let me see what I can play for now here. Okay, so knight is attacked for now, and we have generally three choices in this position. Either we can go to knight f5, knight to b3, or knight to f3. So I am just thinking to play just knight to b3 here, which looks good for now. And I am hoping to just develop my bishop and try to see where I am going to castle long side or short side. Let's see. First of all, what my opponent is going to play. Because this d5 square is quite weak. Because black has pushed his pawn to e5 here. That's why. Okay, so bishop e6 has been played. Let me see. Let me just develop my queen here and try to long castle here. And see what happens in this position. Okay, so bishop e7 my opponent has played. Let me see. Let me just castle alongside, and I am just looking to place my knight to the d5 square, but I think this is not the right time for now. So let me just play king b1 and remove my king from this diagonal. Okay, so b5 has been played. Let me first capture this knight maybe and try to jump to d3 here, or there is something more that I have to see first. You can also directly jump to d5. Then there is this move, knight into e4. That's the problem, because then our queen will also be attacked. Let's see what can be done here. Let me just play this move, pawn to f3 and support my pawn. Okay, rook b8 has been played. So I think in this position we can play g4 and try to attack inside here. Hello everyone, how you guys are doing right now? Okay, so this pawn is currently hanging. Can I just capture it? What is the problem? I think I'm going to, because I'm just not seeing any problem in capturing this pawn, because my bishop is now currently supported by my knight, so there shall not be any problem. Okay, so now black's knight is also hit, and he chooses to sacrifice his exchange, so I'm going to happily capture it for now. I don't see any point why he sacrifices his rook here. Okay, so let's see. So we are now 3 points up, and we just have to play safely and convert this game, which I hope I am going to do. Let's see. On a4. Okay, so knight does not have many square to go to, so there is knight a1 and knight to c1. But knight a1 will not do anything for me, so I'll just place my knight here. And for now, this pawn is also being attacked, so I have to see how he is going to support this, because there is knight to d6 was the threat. But I think this move is a mistake from my opponent, because I can play here just bishop into knight, and when he recapture it, then I can just capture on d5 here. I don't see any problem in this move, so I'm going to just make it. So there will be also a fork after pawn into d5 here. Let me just capture it, and there is double attack, and this pawn is being supported by my queen and the rook, so this is simply a winning position for me. Now I have one extra rook, so that I think is quite a big amount of material for this position. Okay, let me just play rook d7. Now I am hitting his bishop here. So bishop also has not much square to go to. There is just bishop to c5 here. So where my opponent is going to place his bishop, that's the point here. Okay, he did play bishop to c5 here. Let me just bring my knight to c3, and for now I'm threatening this pawn, and I am also planning to jump to this square, from where my knight will hit his bishop and also this pawn. So pawn a3 has been played, so I can of course capture it, but then this file will be open. But again, I don't see any problem to not capture it. But let me just play. Wait. Let me just play this move first of all, and for now I am hitting his bishop. And when he capture it, then I can also play knight to d3, trying to exchange this knight. Okay, so he does not capture this pawn, so let me just capture this pawn and deliver a check here. And let me just repeat this move. So this is again a check here. I'll just play here knight to d3, trying to exchange this knight, and also I was threatening this pawn, but my opponent has missed that this knight was under attacked, so I am just going to capture this. And the game is simply over from here. There is no counterplay for my opponent, so that's why he resigned the game. Let me just search for a new game here, and in this game I'll try to play b3 opening. Let me just fianchetto my bishop in this beautiful diagonal. He plays here queen to g5. what is the idea behind this move. Let me just attack his queen from here with the tempo. So I can also play d4 here, and or else I can go for double fianchetto. So both my bishop will be placed both of this diagonal. So I think this is a good choice for me. Let me just castle kingside here. Black is just moving his queen again and again, so I don't think this is a good move for him. So bishop d6 has been played. Let me just play knight b to d2, and for now I am trying to play pawn to e4, which I am going to, and for now the threat is to play pawn e5 and fork his bishop and knight for now. So let's see how he is going to defend it. Okay, so he has come back to e7 square. So let me just play pawn to c4, and now I can think of playing d5 here, but okay, let me just play here pawn e5 in this position. Now the knight is hit, so something like knight g4 he could have been played, but he goes to d7, and for now this pawn is hanging. Okay, so let me just save this pawn by playing this, and this pawn is now supported with queen, bishop and knight. So he goes to b6 here, but this knight is not supported for now. What can we try here? Okay, so we can here play just, oh wait, I just mouse slipped. I wanted to play rook to d1, but rook goes to e1 square. What can I do? Okay, so let me try pawn s3 here and try to kick his queen from here by playing pawn to g4, and see where his queen is going to go. Knight before he played here, which I don't think is a good move for now, but let me see what I can play. This rook is misplaced for now. I wanted to play rook d1, but again this has happened. So let me just kick his knight from here. Knight can go to c2 square and attack both of these pieces, which I totally missed. Not going to lie here. So now this pawn is hanging, but we have quite a good compensation. Okay, so what can we try here? This is the question. We can try to play g4 here, but there is queen to g6. So let me just first of all capture this knight and try to... Okay, now the point was to play pawn to g4, and when he play queen to g6, then I can play knight s4, hitting his queen and also this bishop. So I think I'm going to play it. Now For me, the I mean to say queen to s6 is a good move here, but let's see what my opponent plays. Okay, so he goes to g6 square. So I was thinking of playing this move. Let me just play it. So now the queen is under attack, and also there is a attack to the bishop which my opponent has missed. That is quite good. So now the rook is also attacked, and let me see. So for now I can play this move, also attacking the queen and supporting this knight, and on the next move I can also save my bishop here. So I think that will make me a piece up. Now he has gone to this square, queen to f4, but I think there is rook d4 here, and also I can try to play this move. I mean rook into knight, but then he can capture this. So let me think which is the best option for now here. Let's just calculate. After rook to d4, black has to go to s6 square. Then I can try to play pawn to g5. Then there is queen s5 here. So let me. There is also this move here. Knight to g2 here. I think knight to g2 is quite a good move here because the queen is under attack and queen has only one square to go to, which is queen to s6. Then I'll play pawn to g5 here. Then again the queen. Wait. Let me just save this bishop for now. And the knight is currently under attacked, but he played queen into s3, but this knight is hanging. Let me see there is something best here or not. I don't see anything, so let me just capture this for now. Queen into g4 has been played. Let me just come back with my rook, and now there is threat to play bishop into s7 check. Then his queen will be under discover attack. So of course he saves it. Let's just control this file for now and hope for the best. Okay, what we can play here? Let me just return with my bishop here, and now the threat is to play rook to s4, trapping the black queen. So there is not many choices. Black hedge, so he also misses it. So I think rook to h4 will trap black's queen. Let me just double check it. After rook to h4, queen cannot go to g5 square, knight is there. Queen also can't go to f5 square because my bishop is controlling it. So I think this is just a game over. So guys, don't develop your queen in the opening because it causes lots of loss of move. So my opponent has resigned the game. After winning this game, we have now crossed the 1500 rating. So let me just search for a new game here. Now we are playing. Okay, so my opponent has aborted the game. So let me search for a new one here. Let me play d5 here. We can play here pawn to e5, just capturing the center. Let me just save my pawn here. Okay, just a simple development. Now the pawn is hit. Let me just save it by bringing out my queen here. Hello everyone. If you guys are enjoying the stream, so do make sure to write something in the chat. Let's discuss chess related topics. Okay, so let me just play pawn to c6 here, controlling the b5 square, and we can also try to bring out bishop to this square, but my opponent has played d4 here, which I don't think is a good move because we can push this pawn here. Now knight has to go to d2 square, but let's see what my opponent is going to do. He has gone to h2, which I don't think is a good choice for him. Let me just bring out my bishop here and try to just okay, we will just develop the knight here and hope for the best. Let me just recapture it. Queen e2 has been placed, so I think white is trying to castle wrong side. So we can play this move for now, and we are trying to play this. First of all, white cannot castle queen side because this pawn would hang, so that's why he pushes it. Let me just play bishop g6 here, just removing my bishop from g4 here, which would be quite useful in the future. So he goes for g4 here. What we are going to play? So let's see. We have to try to create counterplay in the center. Let me just pin his knight here for now, and we will try to play b5 in the future. So he goes to bishop to g2 here. Let me just place my rook here, and we are preparing to play this. but my opponent has castle kingside, which just mix up the plan for me. But this diagonal is quite vacant for now. So one thing I can do, which is to try to bring my bishop here again and try to play bishop c7, queen to d6, putting my queen and the bishop in the same diagonal. Okay, so he wants to exchange. That's not a problem for me. What we can do here? Let me just play. Wait. If this, then he can play bishop a3 here. That's the problem. So let me just attack his pawn for now. Okay, so he saves it. That makes me happy because we can again play bishop b4 here and try to go here. But moving the same piece again and again is not a good idea. But I think this position is an ex exception for it, so I think I'm going to do it. Bishop to b4 is a good move, I think, but let me just double check it here what he wants to do after that. So bishop b4, then we are threatening to play this, but I think bishop c7 is also good, so we are now planning to play here. Okay, so he goes to d1 square, so this hangs this pawn. What's the problem? Let me just capture it. I don't see any problem in capturing this pawn, so I am just going to capture it and see what my opponent plays here. He goes for h4 move. What's his plan after queen to d6? Now we are threatening to come here, and there is quite a lot of threat for my opponent, which I don't think he can save it. But White is trying his best. Let's just calculate what happens. Okay, so we can give this check, and after king to king f2 we can also first let me just give a check here, and after king f2 we can capture this pawn with a check, and this pawn would also hang. So I think this is quite a good option for us. I don't think there is a problem in taking this pawn, so I'm going to just play it and see what my opponent is going to play here. So this pawn was also under attack for now, but what we can do here, we can try to exchange the queen in this position, which I think will be good for us. But let me see, is there any good option? Let me here just play this. Queen to g6. Now we are threatening to play queen d3 check here. So what my opponent is going to play here, that we have to see. Okay, so he goes to f2 square, but now we can play knight to g4 check, and after king to f1 we can deliver this check also, which I think is going to win us the game. Why not play it? And there is also a move. After king f1 we can also try knight s2 check, which will fork his king and the queen. So I think it is just game over for my opponent here. So he sacrifices his queen. Let me just capture it. There was no discovered attack, but my opponent has gone for this because I can give this check here, and when he saves his check then I can also capture his bishop here. So king f1. There is also an option to give this check here, which I think is quite strong. And now queen to g3 will be checkmate. After king h1 then queen s2 or queen s3 will be checkmated. That was a good game from us. Let me just play a new game here. Okay, so my opponent has gone for the grove opening. What we can try to play? Let me just play here c5 move. We will go for knight to c6 here, and we can here try to go for pawn to e6, and here we are trying to play d5 here, but my opponent has stopped it. Okay. Let me just to my bishop here. My opponent is playing quite fast here. We can try to play here pawn to s5. He can of course impatient it, but we will capture with our knight. So he does not go for it. Let me just develop my knight here, and here we are planning to play d5 here, which I think I am going to do it, and we will capture with the pawn when he recapture it. Okay, so he has gone for this move, which I don't like it, if I tell you honestly, but what can we do? Let me just play this. Okay. We can also hit his queen here, and when he capture it then we can capture with the pawn. I think that will be good for us. Let me just remove it just in case. Hello everyone, how you guys are doing right now? You can also challenge me after this game if you guys want to play it, play with me. So he gives a check, so let us block it by developing our bishop here. And now queen is again has been attacked. Now the point is, what shall we play? What can we play? Let me just develop my bishop here and see what he does. Okay, so he capture it, of course. We will capture as I said earlier with the pawn. So knight is hit. So he captured with this, but uh, I don't think this is a good move because after this his bishop is also hit. So white is going to lose a piece here. Let me just capture with the check here, and we can here go for short side castling, and our king is quite safe. Here of course he can capture this pawn, but we will save our rook here. Okay, so rook c1 has been played. What we can do, we can try to play queen to b6 here, and we sometime try to bring our knight to this square with the help of our queen. So let's see. So white cannot be able to castle here also because this square is controlled with my queen here. So we will just develop our rook here, and I think we are just winning the game in few moves. So my queen is hit. We can capture this pawn. I don't see any discover attack with his bishop because whenever he lifts his rook, his bishop will also hang. So I think this game is simply finished now. Okay, so rook g1 has been played. We can here play this move, I think, which I think is quite strong because we are hitting his rook and we are also planning to play anything. So I think I am going to play it. Okay, so he captured it. Let me see what is the best move here. Let me just play here. Now the point is his both rooks are under attack with the pawn and with the bishop here. So I think the game is simply finished for now. So what my opponent is going to play here? Okay, so he captured our pawn here. Let me just recapture it because I just don't see any point. We will just play rook to c8, and for now we are threatening to play bishop to c3 here, pinning his king and the queen. Mm, So now the game is simply over here. Okay, he goes to a5, but I think this check is just game over. Let me search for a new game here, and we are playing a player from Norway, I think. Yes, I was right. Let's play pawn to e5 here. We will go with knight to c6. Development is the key in the opening. So he sacrifices his knight here, but I don't think it is a good move. So for now, white wants to play queen to f3 here and try to hit our knight here. So I think we can just play this move. And we will go for this here. Just we are controlling the d5 square here. Let me just play c6 here. Try to force white to take out bishop here. Then we can recapture with the knight or with the pawn. Let me just attack his bishop for now and ask where he wants to go. We will play here queen e7 and we will just try to long castle in few moves. Okay, so he wants to exchange our knights, but I don't think that is a problem for us. Let me first of all exchange his bishop here and we will unpin our queen by playing queen e6 here. Now we can also try to play knight s7 because our knight is not pinned yet. So I think this is just game over. Okay, so knight g3 has been played. What we can do here is just play knight to e7 here, and now we are trying to play this pawn to s6. He goes for c4, which is just a very horrible move for white because these dark squares are quite weak when he plays c4 here. We can also here try to give this check, which I think I'm going to do because why not? Let me just give a check and force his bishop to block it. Okay, so he does not block it. Now we can try to play here knight to c5. Now we are hitting this pawn and there is no good option for white to save this pawn. Okay, so now white is threatening to play knight to f6 check. What we can do here to stop it? We can try rook to g6 here, which I think I am going to do. Let me see. Maybe white here can try bishop f6 here, but he does not. Okay, so we will just hit his bishop here, and we are forcing him to come to c1 square. Or yeah, maybe this is also possible here. Let me just capture this pawn and hit his rook here. Okay, so we can also capture this rook here because why not? Now when he recapture it, then we can also capture his bishop here. Okay, so he saves it. That is quite clever of him because our knight is also trapped here, which I completely missed. Okay, so no point in thinking here. Let me just play here bishop to c5 and trying to exchange this bishop here because there is also a threat to just play bishop into bishop, and when he recapture it, then this knight will be unsupported. That's why he capture it. So we will just recapture and we can here play this pawn to a6, and for now I'm just trying to sort I'm in long castle here, so King is quite safe, and my rook is on the same pile of this pawn. Now we are threatening to play this move here, which my opponent has missed it. Wait. So there is also a threat of playing knight e7 check when we capture this pawn. So we have to make sure to not fall for it. That's why I'm just going to play rook d7, just controlling this square for now. And he goes for this move. Okay, we will just come back here, and we will try to just bring my rook to this file and try to pressure on this pawn here. Let's see how it goes. Okay, now this pawn is under attack. How he is going to save it? Hello everyone, how you guys are doing? This pawn is hit. Maybe he wants to something like play this, but let me just bring my king from all of the checks which I will not face in the future because I just moved my king here. So he goes for rook to c1 here. This knight is quite on good square for here. Let me just pressure this and this pawn here. We will again trying to just attack this. Let me just exchange the queens here if he want to. Okay, he does not. Okay, my friend, we will just trying to checkmate you from here, and we can try to come back here also. I'm just trying to exchange the queens. Hatch for now. Okay. Now there is so much threat in the air, so let me just come back with my rook, and now I'm threatening to play this. I think the queen has not much square to go to. He can go here, of course. Hmm. Let me see. The position is quite complicated for now. We have to do something. This knight is on perfect square here, controlling lots and lots of square. Wait, what we can do? We can try to hit this pawn for now and see how he is going to save it. Okay, so he goes for this, but I think this allow this check, which I hope my opponent has missed it. Okay, so he goes for there. He goes here, so let me just what we can do. We can exchange this rook and try to come here. I think that will be just game over. No? Yes, because this check is threatened, and when king e3, then queen to d2 will be checkmate. So I don't see any defense for him. Maybe he can try knight e3. Okay, so he just fell for it. I think it is just game over for him here. We can give this check, and after here we will try this check, and if he comes to f2, then this will be a checkmate, and when he tries this, then queen d2 will be checkmate. So I think it is just game over from here. Yep, GG. This check here, we will give this check and king e3, then queen e2 will be checkmate. I think I am not missing anything here. Hello Praveen, how are you? I don't think it will take much time for me to reach 2500. We are just trying here, so this is a checkmate here. Abo, abo, let me just search for a new game here, and we are again playing with the white pieces. Let me start the game with d4 here. And we will going to play London system here. Yes, this is my new ID, and my current rapid rating is 2400 in my main account. So that's why I said you it will not be much difficult for me to reach 2500, but it will definitely take some time to reach, of course. Knight f3, I will play here. Let's just play pawn to c4 and try to play knight c3 here. Yes, Praveen. But again, it will take some time. I don't think it will be much easier to reach 2500 just in few days, because there is some tough competition when I go 2200. That's the point. So it will definitely take some time. Let me just play here pawn to s3. Oh no, it's okay, it's okay. Okay, so black is trying to come here. We can do one thing to play pawn to a3 and hit his bishop here. Okay, so he returned back. Then why did he come here in the first place? He just wasted a move here, but that's that's okay. Let me just play rook to c1 here. And we will try to play knight s4 and try to exchange this bishop here. Okay, so after knight to h4, he can go to e4 square, then we can try to push it again. So let's do it. Okay, so let me just exchange this and try to surprise. He captured with this pawn. So now this pawn is weak. But how can we take advantage of this? First of all, let me just play bishop d3 here, controlling this square, and we will see how it goes. Rook to c8 has been played, so let me just castle here. Okay, so the pawn is under attack for now, so we will just push it and hit his knight. So now the point is, my plan is quite simple here. We will try to play on the queen side here for b4 and b5. But for now, it is also very important to stop black from playing pawn e5. So I think I think we can play this for now. And my plan is to play just bishop h2 on the next move. Let me see how it goes. He goes rook f7. What's his point here? I don't see it. What is his point? So we can do one thing to try to transpose our knight to this square, which I quite like it. So, but then there will be knight e4. Okay, so let me first of all bring my knight to this square. He goes for b6, which is not a good move because there is bishop a6 here and his rook will be under attack. So I think black has missed my move here. Now rook has only one square to go to, then white can play bishop b7, hitting his rook again. That will just will be just losing for him. So he captures it. Let me let me just capture with his pawn, I think, because we are not in a hurry to capture this rook for now because it is anyway trapped here. Let's see what he plays. So he goes for it. Yep. He goes to e4 square. And here we can play knight d2 and try to exchange his knight. which I think will be good for us. Okay, so let me just recapture it. Now I think black will play knight f6 and try to come again. Okay, so he goes for this move. We have to now capture it, and we will play here rook to b1, trying to go to the 7th rank of black. I think now game should be over, but there is many play left in this position. So he goes to this square, but here we can play bishop b7, hitting his queen and also this pawn. Okay, so this is a good move. Just play it. We can also capture this pawn here. Why not? And if we get a chance, we will exchange this knight. But of course, he moves it. What we can do here, we can try to come bishop a4, and we will try to play bishop to c2 in coming future. But okay. I'm seeing what he wants to do. We will go to b4 square, which I think is a good square for my queen, because black can here of course try to play bishop h4 or queen f8 here. Wait, he goes here, so we can play bishop c2 and try to exchange this knight as soon as possible. Of course he goes back, so let me just exchange the queens, and there is no counter play left for black. We can play here then rook c7. Okay, so first of all, let me just bring this rook here, and we are threatening to play rook to b7, trying to exchange his rook. And when we exchange the rooks, then this pawn will be quite strong. Okay, so we can play here. When we exchange the rook, then this pawn will be just quite strong, and in few moves it will just promote. This is a this is a mistake or not? Because if we capture the rook, then when he recapture, he will support this, and when we capture this rook, then we can play bishop into g6 check. So this is quite a good move. So let me just exchange it, and we are ready to play bishop into g6 when he captures our rook. Now when he recaptured this bishop, then his knight would also hang. Yep. Okay, so let's just come here and hit this pawn. He will just trying to win it. So bishop d6 he can play, of course. Let me just hit this bishop, and the bishop has no square to go to because this is a check and he will lose his bishop here. So the game is over for now. Yep, black has resigned the game. So guys, you can also play with me. Just send me a challenge on chess.com. Make sure it is a casual game. Then we can of course play. Okay. I- In the meantime, we will just watch some of the Blitz game, which is playing on chess.com. Okay, so AGM is playing with an international master. In the meantime, you can also send me a challenge on chess.com if you guys want to play. Okay, so I don't see any challenges from you guys, so I will just try to play another game and we will play pawn to e4. Let's play knight f3 here, knight c3, and our opponent is sinking for now. And he goes for g6 here. Wow, g6 is not so much popular here. Why does he want for? Why does he want to go for it? I don't know. He will just develop normally in this position. Castling, and let me just play here pawn to a3. We can of course go and play pawn s3 here. And we will capture with our queen when he we capture it. Let's see what he does here. Okay, so here now threatening to play queen into f7, and that will be checkmate. So I think knight f6 has to be played, but my opponent has played knight d4 and he has missed that queen into f7 is a checkmate. So this game has just been finished under 10 moves. Okay, so let me search for a new game here. And we are playing with a player from Japan and the game has been aborted. So we will try to search for a new game. Let's play. The game is again aborted. What can we do? Let me play French defense here. We will go for d5 here, and white is playing advanced French. Knight c6, bishop d7, queen b6. This is not a good move because after bishop to d7, now there is a threat to play knight into e5 here, which my opponent has missed it. So now the point is quite simple. When he captured with the knight, then his bishop would hang, and when he capture my bishop, then we will capture with our knight. So that's the point. Okay, let's just capture this. Now we are a pawn up in the opening. He recaptures this also, so we will just recapture. Okay, so he goes for this. We can try to place our bishop on this square. Wait a second. Yeah, this is fine, I think. And after this check, I was just thinking to play king f8 here because this is not a problem for us. King is quite safe here. Of course, you can go for this. Wait a second. b5 is also coming here, which I missed. For now, let me just play this, and we are threatening his knight. So now the threat is to play b5 here. That is quite. That is quite what I wanted to say. I forgot. Okay, so we can do one thing. We can play bishop c4 here, and we just remove our bishop from b5 threat, and we can here try to go b5 from ourselves, and now the queen is in the attack. Okay, so now the problem has been solved. We can capture with this pawn. Let me just play king e7, then rook e8, then king f8, then we will just castle manually. We will go here and we will capture this, and when we recapture this, then this pawn will also hang. So this is a good deal for us. I don't see we have any problem here. He goes here, so what we can do, we can come back here, and we are trying to exchange the queens for now. But so he gives the check, but that's not a good move because his queen is under attack. Let's see. Now he wants to exchange the queens. Okay, my friend, we can exchange it. I don't see any problem. And here we can try to just bring our rook to c file and see how it goes. Okay, so first of all, First of all, let me just play here. Now he wants to come here, so we have to be quite careful here. Okay, so I think I have allowed some counterplay for my opponent. But again, let me just play here for now and we will see how it goes. Now he can come here. So we will do one thing. We will play here pawn to e5, and when knight to c6 is played, we can try to go bishop d2. I think that would be good. Yes, yes, yes. That would be good. Let me just play this move here. Rook is under attack, and we are also planning to just save my bishop by playing this move, and we are threatening to just push our pawn here. I think this position is quite good for us, but still it is not quite it is not quite clear how to win because this knight is quite strong. Knight can be tricky in this type of position. We have to just make sure we don't fall for his tricks. We can play here pawn to e4, just hitting his knight, and when the knight moves we will try to play here, but this moves just uh, allow me to play this, which I think my opponent has missed. So we are now piece up and we have these monstrous looking pawns which will win us the game. So I think the game is over. So what does white wants to do now? He wants to play or he wants to resign. We have to see. We have to see what white wants to do because our plan is quite simple. We just want to push this pawn and make a new queen. Let's see. White is thinking and thinking again. Move, my friend, make a move. Make a move. He is not making the move. What we can do? Okay, so I don't think White is going to play a move, so we just have to wait. We just have to wait for him to do something. We just have to wait. Okay, again he is not making the move. Okay, so we have won the game. So let me search for a new game here. We are playing with the black passage once again, and the game has been aborted. We will search for a new one again. Okay, so he goes for pawn to e3. Let me just play this, and the, the position has been transposed to exchange French. We will play bishop d6 here, and we will go for knight to e7. We can just castle, and here we will play c6, saving this pawn. We can go for f6 here, and we will try to play bishop f5 on the next move. So he goes queen to c2. Now our bishop is under attack. So let me just exchange it and develop my knight to d7 square. And we can also try to play knight g6 and knight f4. Okay, so let me just go for this. We are now attacking his bishop, and I think bishop g3 will be played. So that's happened on the board. Let me just play queen to c7 just like him. He also played queen to c2, so we will just do the same. And we will just try to bring our rook here I mean. So he goes for this move. I quite like it for him from him. So what can we do here? Let me just capture this. He can of course take with the queen or with the knight, so he recaptured with the knight. Okay, so let's just exchange, and let me just play rook to d8 here for now. I'm just checking if I am not missing anything, which I don't think I am. So let's play rook d8 here. and this pawn is isolated for white, so we will try to pressure it. He is trying to exchange this pawn, but this allowed me to play knight to c5 here, hitting his queen and also opening up our rook. So I think he misses it. Let me just play it here. He can go for d6 here, as I can see, but we have to see what he plays here. D6 is a good move, I think, because yes, he found it. He found it. He of course found it. What we can do here? We will go for this move, Queen D7 for now, and maybe we will try to hit his knight from here and try to capture this pawn, but we have to see what white plays here because his queen is under attack for now. He goes for this. He goes for this move. Now our knight is also been attacked. Okay, so we can play knight to d3 here, and we will try to exchange this pawn. I mean, we will try to capture this pawn as okay. So he saves it. He saves the pawn. So let me see. This check from this diagonal will be quite problematic. So let me just remove my king from this diagonal. So I don't face any check. That's the okay. So he captures it. Now my plan is to play b5 here. Let me see. Is there anything good? No, I think b5 will be played because his knight is hit, and when he capture it, then we can recapture with our rook. And when he saves his knight by playing knight to b6, something like that, then we can capture with our rook here. So I think that will be fine for us. He did capture it, so let me just recapture it. He can play knight to b6 here, and can we go for this when he play knight to b6? Let me think. Rook to b7, then knight has no square to go to, so he has to play d7 here and trying to promote. So then we have to block it. Then he can play knight to c8. Then we will capture the pawn. He will exchange rook, and when we exchange, he can again go to b6. So I don't think there's a point in playing rook b7. So let me just play this and see what my opponent play here. He goes for rook d1. So my opponent is playing quite a good game for now. So we have to be quite careful here. Let's see. There is also a problem of back rank, so we have to be careful in this position. Let me play here knight to c8 for now, and I just want to exchange this knight. Okay, so the knight has been exchanged. Now we have to Open a flight square for our king. Let's see. We can pin his knight by playing rook d8 here. So I think I am going to do it. Now the threat is to play c5 here. He found a good move. So the point is when I capture his knight, then he wants to deliver a back rank checkmate. So we have to save this pawn by playing this. Now the knight is really attacked, so he have to save the knight now for now. Yep, position is getting quite exciting, so let's see how it goes. Now we can try to go here on the second rank of white. I don't see any problem, so I will go for it. So now this pawn is hit. Let's see how he saves it. Gouge. This pawn is quite important for him. Okay, so he saves it by playing this move. So first of all, let me just play pawn s5 here, and I just solved my back rank problem once for all. And now he wants to play this and this. So let's see. We can play c5 here. I think this is a good move, and we are trying to play c4 and fix this pawn from him. And when he tries b4, then we can push c4 and we have a passed pawn. So our rook is quite active in compared of his, so that's another advantage for us. But again, the position is unclear for now, so we have to be quite careful. Let's see. He goes knight to e7. So where does he want to go? Let me just play here pawn to c4, and we are trying to play knight d3 on the next move. That will hit this pawn from here. He came back again, so he came back again. Let me hit his knight again and see where he wants to go. If he plays knight e7, then we will save our pawn and try to play knight d3 on the next move. He came back. Okay, so now we can hit his pawn here, just making sure I don't fall for any tricks. Now this move is forced here, so we have to see what he plays. I think after knight d1 we can play rook e2, trying to checkmate him. But now we have to see what he does. So he goes for this. Okay. Now we can push this pawn. I don't see any problem why we should not. Yes, I think this is a good move. We will going to do it. Now the threat is to play c2 and then c1 queen. So when I play c2, he have to sacrifice his knight. Then we will capture. Okay, so just follow our plan here. This is a this is a mistake because he just allowed us to promote, but wait, let me find a good move here. I think this check is quite quite good in this position, and knight here. So this just makes sure to for him to just force him to exchange this pawn, which he does, of course. And let me just play here. Okay, okay. We will just give a check, and we will try to play knight e3 here. Now this pawn is under attack. How he is going to save it? He does not want to save it. Okay, now I was planning to play this move here. Now this is a checkmate threat, so this was forced, and here we will capture with the pawn and we will save this, just making sure I don't miss anything. So let me just pin this pawn for now, and we will see what can we do. He can of course give a check, but then king s7 is there, so let's just play fast here because time is getting quite low. This is a check threat which I am planning to play, but yep, keep this check and just stop this pawn from going again. So we'll just play here, and uh, after this pawn, then this rook is forced to be support the pawn. Okay, so let me just keep this check again and come back here. Now there are many threats which he can have to deal with it. Now the simple threat is to push, and okay, I think we can capture this pawn, and we will try to bring our king here also. Okay, okay, let's see. This is safe for now, and there are no more checks, and we are threatening checkmate into by playing this check, and after this that will be a checkmate. So I think this is forced from him, but this will also not save him from losing the game. So he just played rook a7 to support his pawn, but now this is just a checkmate from here. This is a checkmate. Let me search a new game here, and we will play pawn to e4. Let's just capture it and develop our knight here. This is not a good check from him because it allows us to develop our knight with the tempo, so that is not good for him. Let's see. So black plays just queen to a5 here, So we will just castle here. And we will play d4 here. Let me just develop this bishop here. Pawn e6 has been played, so let me just attack this bishop for now. And after bishop s5 we can again play g4. Yep, I'm going for it. And after bishop g6 I will play knight f4 here, hitting his bishop, so he has to save it. Now what we can do? We can play here pawn to f4. Okay, let's see. So he goes for pawn to f6, which I don't think is quite a good move, because this weakens this light square from him. For him, we will try to exchange his light square bishop. That will also weakens these squares. So now the threat is to play this check, which my opponent has missed, I think. Let's just play it. He goes here. Wow. Let me just bring this rook to the same file where his king is, and here we can play this move. I think it is quite strong. It is quite strong because there are so many threats which he have to face it from here. We can capture it. Okay, so he recaptures with the pawn. So we can also give this check, I think, and when he captures with the knight, then we can try to play this check. I think that would win us the game. But the question is, what will happen after king to d8? That is the question. That is the question. Black is not forced to capture this bishop, so he can also play king d8 after bishop to c5. Let me see. I am just calculating the variation. So what can we do? What can we do? This is the question. Let's calculate again. Bishop c5 check, king d8 is forced, and here we can play this move. Yes, and he has to recapture with the rook, I think. Then there is queen into g7. I think I have found it. Yep, let me just go for this check. So knight capture is not possible, as I said earlier, because there is this check which is quite strong that would lose his queen. So king d8 has to be played here. Let's see what happens. Yes. So he came back king to d8, as I have said. So now we have to do something for this bishop. So I think I will just exchange it, and here I was trying to play this one, which I think I can do here. Okay, he goes there, which I totally missed. Now I think my queen is going to be trapped, which I missed totally. Okay, let me see what I can do. The threat is to play this, and wait a second. I have a move. I can play this, and when he captures with the knight, then I can exchange the queens and then recapture. But what? Okay, so he messaged it. I think there was a winning move for him which he missed. So let me come back. So he could have played this move, I think. Here he could have played this, but this pawn is hanging. So I think I was fine overall. So I was not in any trouble, as I said you. Now the plan for him is to play this move. Let me just exchange the knight which is blocking my pawn. So here I will play this, and when he goes for this, we will play g5. So let me just come here, and we will happily exchange the rooks, and we can also push the pawn, just making sure. Wait, let me just bring the king first, because king is also quite important. Yep, let me just bring the king. Here I was planning to play g5. Now we have connected passed pawn, which I think is quite good for us. So my opponent has resigned the game. Let me search for a new game here, and we will try to reach 1600 today. So let's see how it goes. Game has been aborted. Let me search for a new one, and I'll play d4 here. Let me try Queen's Gambit in this game. We will recapture, and we will develop my knight by attacking his queen here. And let's play pawn to e4. And see what he plays here. He goes for e5 move. Okay. So black's point is when I recapture, he wants to exchange the queens and play knight to g4, hitting f2 and trying to recapture this pawn, which I think is quite a valid point from him. So yeah, let me just develop this, and we will recapture with our knight when he capture on d4, or we can also try to play queen into d4. Yes, queen into d4 looks fine, so let me just play it. Okay, so I will just recapture it. Okay, let me see how we can save this pawn. We have to play pawn to f3 here. Okay, and we will just unpin our knight and try to castle long side here. Yes, let me just castle it. He can also do the same, but he goes king side. So what can we play here? We can go here, I think, and we are hitting this pawn for now and trying to exchange the bishops. So what does black wants to play? Okay, so bishop has been exchanged. Now this pawn has to be saved. How is he going to save it? Okay, he also exchanges the bishops there, so let me just recapture. And he plays here, so for now I cannot capture this because he will play rook c8, and when I come knight d5 he will, I think, go knight to b4, discover check. So yep, that's his point. So I think we can just play knight to d4 here and try to exchange the knights. I think black's position is quite solid here. Okay, so let's see what happens. He goes here. Okay, so let me just bring my rook here. He wants to play c4. Okay, we will just bring our rook, and when he plays c4 we can capture it. No, yes, we can. Okay, let's just capture it, and pawn has to be captured. Now we can play rook to d6, hitting this pawn. That was the point of my move, and we will try to bring our queen to the c3 square. That would also help us to capture this pawn. But first thing first, we have to see how he is going to save this pawn of him. He does not want to save it. Wow. Okay, so let me just not exchange this pawn because he will capture with the check. We will save it by playing b3 and we will try to recapture this pawn, something like rook d3 in the future, because this pawn is not going anywhere from here. So I think we don't have to think much here. So he goes here, so let me just save my pawn and also attack his pawn. Now this pawn is also under attack, this pawn is hit, and we can capture it with the rook. I think this rook is now been hit, and we will just bring our bishop to c4 square, just blocking the connection of the rook and the pawn, and on the next one we can capture with our king by playing bishop to c4. Let's see what he do here. Yep, we can capture it for now. I don't see any problem. Now he wants to come knight to f4. Let me just stop him by playing pawn to g3 here, just controlling this square, not allowing him any counterplay. Let me just play bishop c4 and I'm just trying to push this pawn as soon as possible. Okay, let me just push this pawn. Now our bishop has become the monster because this is working on both of the diagonals. This pawn is also been targeted by the bishop, and this knight has not many squares to go to. That is the problem. We will just push our pawn here, and here we can try to exchange one rooks, and that would make this pawn more I mean to say that this pawn would make more problem for my opponent when one rook is exchanged. That's what I wanted to say. Let me just come here, and I'm just trying to bring my king, which will help me to push my pawns. That's what I want to do. If I play this, then he can check me, okay? That is a valid point. We can also come here, I think, and we will come like that, king to a6 on the next move. So he goes here. We can also try, if we want, we can also play this move, but that would create some problem for us. So let's just hit his rook here. And where does he want to go? Maybe he can check us. Yes, he can check us. He have to check us because there are no other moves, because rook c7, then there is b6 move, so black have to give us the check. He does not give us the check, so he plays in tricky move, which is this. He wants us to capture his rook, then he will fork us. But I think he misses a key point here, which is rook to c8, and after that both of these pieces will be attacked. So I think he misses this move. So I will just go for this. We can also keep this check and then go for this, which I think would make his king to go there, because he can't play king g5 because this is a checkmate. So I think this check is quite accurate as far as wait. No. If we come here by playing rook c6, then this rook is blocked, so he can move it. So I think this is forced here. Knight is hit for now. So how he is going to save both of his pieces? I don't see any way for him. If black tries to give us the check, then there is king to b6, again hitting his rook and the knight. So I don't see any way for black to save both of these pieces for now. Goes for rook a7, but I think this check is there. So now his rook and knight both are under attack. That was the point of playing king to b6 here. Now the game is simply over for him. He can't do anything. We can just capture this, and when he gives us the check, then we could have blocked this. Now we will just push this pawn. We will make a new queen. Yep, we can block this check. Now the pawn can't be stopped because there is no rook b3 for him. This is a checkmate, my friend. Let me search for a new game here. And let me play pawn to e4. We will play d4 here. Okay, so let me go for d5, and we will try to play fast this game. Let me just stop him from playing b5. Okay. Now we will just develop our pieces and castle. Everything will be good for us. Let me just develop my knight here. What does he want to do? He can't go here, so maybe he wants to play here, but we will see. We will see. He can play this move, but I'm not worried for it. Okay, so these moves just block this knight. So I think I can play knight s2 here, knight will be hit and he has to play g6 move. That would wait. I can directly play g4 here. Then there will be no square for knight to go to. I think my opponent has missed this move. Now the knight is trapped on the rim. We can also exchange this. And we will capture this. Of course, he can take this, but what can we do? Okay, so now he wants to play with bishop g4 here. So we have to do something about it. Can we play here queen to f3, and when bishop g4 then we can play queen g3, then queen into s5 is there, so that's the problem. This position is not easy as it looked, so we have to be quite careful here. We have to be quite careful in this position. We can play this move, and after this we can go here. I think, yep, I think this is good. We are just trying to play rook g3. I think we can do this. Bishop e2 was our plan here, so now I think he has to exchange the bishop, and rook g3 is also coming. Okay. Wait. We have to be quite careful here. Can we just capture this? He has to take with this, and we will play rook g3. I think that will be good. Now this pawn is hit, so we can here play this. Pawn is saved for now, and we are threatening to capture this pawn. I think everything looks good now. I think everything looks good for now. Let's see what my opponent plays here. Okay, we will just capture this, and we are threatening to exchange the queens, and we are also attacking the knight, which my opponent has missed. But the question is, can we just capture this? I think we cannot, because there is queen into f2 check, so we have to save this by playing bishop e3. Now that was attacked, so he saved it by playing this. Let me just try to exchange the queens. How can we make it good for us? Let me just go here for now, and we are trying to bring this rook on the g file, so every pieces of ours will be quite active. This looks quite good for us. Let's see. wants to capture this. I see your point, my friend. I think we can play this here. And when he capture this, we can just play knight d1, hitting his queen and also supporting this pawn. And of course he cannot capture a queen because after pawn takes there will be double attack. So he moves up this queen, but this queen is now we can capture, and after knight takes we can capture bishop into c5 here, hitting his knight and also his rook here. So now the game is over. Let me just exchange the rooks there, and then the game will be over. But this is just a checkmate now, so he message it. This is a checkmate. Okay, let me search for a new game here, and we are just at 13 points away from reaching 1600. So we have to try it. Try to go for it. We will play knight c6 on the next move, maybe queen b6. Everything is good for now. Let's see what my opponent plays here. So I think my opponent has disconnected from here. So I think we are going to get 3 points. Okay, so we will just take the points. Okay, so the game was abandoned and we have won the game. Let me just win this game and we will just reach 1600. Okay, so let me play c5 as I played in the previous game. We will play pawn to e6. This is not good because I can develop here. Why everyone wants to play this? We can play here d5 move. Okay, so let's go for it. Let me just develop this bishop here and we will sort castle on the next move. He can pin us by playing bishop g5, of course. He did not. Let me just push him by playing d4. And let me also pin him by going bishop g4 here. So both of our knights are pinned here. So he unspin it, but this diagonal is now open. So everything has some drawbacks in life. Everything has some drawbacks. Okay, so this move I have missed. I'm not going to lie. But here we can play bishop a7. That's not a big problem for us. We will recapture with our bishop and we are happy. Okay, so now if we capture with the queen, then there is pawn to f5 move. So I think we have to take with the knight here. So that was quite important. And we are for now a piece up. So here we can play with this move. Now he can of course capture with the rook here, and after that he can capture our knight, but then our knight can also go to this square, I think. Yes. Now the queen is under attack, so we are 3 points up for now. We have to win this game. This pawn is hit, so these moves create lots of light square weakness. So I think we can very let me just play this, or yeah, this is fine also because he does not have target square piece up that would attack us, so I think g6 is also fine. Okay, so this pawn is hit. Let me see what we can do. Can we play this move also? This is interesting because if he captures this, then there is pawn into pawn. I think he missed it, but what what can we do? Now he cannot capture our knight. Yep. So he exchanges the pawn. So let me now exchange the queens. So that would allow us to win the game quite easily. So for now, let me just bring this rook to the game. He can play here piece up e4, taking this pawn, but I think that's not a problem for us because we can go to his second rank, hitting his pawn also. I think that's good. So he saves his pawn, so we will also save our pawn too. He can come for by playing this, but he did not. So what we can do, we can go here, I think. So just control this file for now. He goes pawn to a3. Let me go pawn h5 here. This bishop of him is quite strong, so we have to do something for him. Let me play pawn to f5 here. Now I am threatening to play this. Let's see how he is going to defend, because when I play g5, if we capture this, then there is pawn to g4 here, and after recapturing we will give check here, and king after king to h1 we can also pin his bishop here. So let's see how it goes. So he goes here. Okay, so I think we can still go for this. I think so. But then he can save by playing rook g1. So let me just play here king to s6. Now I want to go there. Let me go there. Now there are so many threats. I think white have to be quite careful in this position. Let's see how it goes. Now I'm planning to play g4. Okay, so we can play g4 still. We can still play g4, or we can also capture this pawn also. Lots of good move we have. We can also give this check. I think this check is quite strong, no? Yes, this check is quite good. Then we can push our pawn again. Yep, this is just game over for him. We will capture with our pawn, and after this we will give this check. Yep, that's over. King King G3 was a very bad move from you. So he resigned the game, and we have finally crossed the 1600 rating. That was the aim when I started streaming today, and I think that's all for today's stream. And I will try to stream tomorrow also at the same time, 11 a.m. Indian Standard Time. So you guys can again join the stream if you want. So see you guys tomorrow.